It's our last little bit. If you have a little brush, I would say use it. If you don't, we're going to be great. I know some of you are going to want to sketch this out and you're going to want to draw it. I would really encourage you not to, but to just go with the paint because we don't want the pencil lines to show. In our next one that we do together, we will do a little bit of sketching to kind of show you how to get started. But in this one, I wanted you to be a little freer to just experiment and paint. It is your first painting, or maybe not your first painting, but I want you to just go for it. All right, so we're going to do our same technique where we get a little bit of paint right on the edge. And I want you to look at the top of that Torii gate. So it is like a little smile and then kind of triangular and across the bottom. All right, so I want you to pick a spot where you're going to put this gate. If you want to do the poles first, that's okay too. It's kind of up to you how you want to go about this, all right? I don't know where it's going to go, so I am just going to start with the smile. And, well, see, right there. I forgot to go get some color. It's barely even there. There we go. There it is. And I'll make a little smile. I don't want too much water in my brush. I really want this to be nice and bold. I can always go back and detail it up. But it comes down once, twice, and it's straight across the bottom. Now this side I had a little too much water, so I'm being very gentle. If you have too much water, just be gentle. There we go. Now anytime you feel like things are getting out of control, just let things dry, okay? That's my best advice to you. It's usually a problem of too much water, and you want your brush to be drier. So again, I usually wipe it off like this on the edge of something. Even when I'm in the pan here, I might just do a little wiping technique just to get some of that extra water off if I'm trying to do a dry brush. All right, so now I'm going to give myself a center. I got a little short letter T. There we go. All right, I'm going to give myself, this one's like a little bit of a frown. It's a single line, so a little line going across, kind of like a frown. A little smile, a little frown. Gets a little wider at the edges. And go back and dab a little bit more color. If I need to, remember, if things are getting out of control, just let things dry. Wipe some color off your brush. All right, last little bit. You have 2 poles on either side. You can make yours longer if you feel like, oh my goodness, it feels too short. Well, then just go add some extra. Stretch it out. There we go. If you stretch one side and you're like, oh no, it's uneven, just stretch the other side. Okay, looks great. All right, wiping some extra water off because water's always, gravity's pulling the water down. So you might be getting more water and you're like, I don't even know where it's coming from. It's just gravity, okay? So just wipe some extra stuff off. And now we're going to drop our poles into the water. If you notice, it's going to come right into the water and then stop at the edge. So I'm taking this line down. Oh yeah, see how much sharper my color was now that I wiped some of that water off? That was just, gravity was pulling down. And stand number 2 right into the water. Now if you notice, it got a little fatter at the base, so I make this part a little fatter. Getting out of control, wipe off the water. It's always in that brush, okay? If your brush is too dry, go get some water. Watercolor is really about learning to respond to what's happening in your brush, which is why it takes a little longer to understand than acrylic. So we usually do acrylic first so you can understand color mixing, and then we do watercolor so you can understand how to handle paint a little more. It's a little trickier, okay? All right, so finish this up any way you want to. And little detailed edges on there. If you're happy with what you got, then go ahead and stop. I'm going to go in reverse. I know I said light to dark. I know that's the rule. But in this case, I'm going to do the light second because it's a reflection. Okay? I have my gate. I'm going to leave it alone and let it dry. And then I'm going to come back with a slightly lighter color for the reflection. It's going to go all the way down. So my brush is pretty dry. I'm gonna go back into some of this lighter color that I have, and I'm not worried if it's exactly the right shade. I just need a reflection, and I just need it to be lighter than the actual gate. So I want to make sure this is dry because I don't want this black to bleed into what I'm painting now. So please make sure first that this is completely dry. As I said with watercolor, there's a lot of waiting, a lot of letting things dry, or, you know, blow dry it. So I'm going to try and go in reverse and go a little lighter. And try not to consider, you know, too much if it's exactly the same length. Think about it like a reflection, so there may be some distortion just because the water may seem longer or seem shorter, and you know we're just going to accept it as true. So, oh no, one got longer. Okay, make the other one longer. All right, now in the picture, this just ends here, but for me, I kind of need something else to happen, so I'm going to just extend. Cool. And extend. And I'm going to do that little, there was a frown here, it's going to be a smile over here. A little bit of a smile. I'm going to check which angle it's on. And that's just this little part right here. And the next part would have been the center part, but we probably don't see that at all. And this little tiny pole that goes up there. And I have my reflection. That's it, guys. That is our first monochromatic painting. It was just one color, different shades of green or whatever color you chose to use. And you just learned lots of things. You learned how to do a flat wash for your background, how to go from lighter, working our way towards darker, how to cover things up, how to let things dry, leave it alone, and just kind of how to adjust some things after things have dried. We lifted some stuff, we added more texture. Watercolor is really a practice game, okay? So do your first practice. We're gonna post those and comment on them and see what everyone did. They're going to be great. I mean, whatever you did, it is very difficult to do this, you know, watching a tutorial without someone there to comment. So I am so proud of you. Thank you for joining me. I can't wait to see your paintings.